Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Chris. The title of this video is going to be Love on Second Chances or Learn to Love. And I think the beautiful Anna Lauren did a video similar to this several months ago, and it was a great video because I certainly have fragrances in my collection that I will be showing you that I wasn't necessarily a love on first sniff or second sniff or third sniff. In some cases, it took a little bit longer than that. And a few times I had to come back several months or even a year later to try them again in different weather and different circumstances. And they either made it into my collection or will be making it into my collection. And that is today's video. So I'm just gonna jump right in, and I'm gonna start off with a very budget fragrance, a very budget-friendly fragrance. I always like to have budget-friendly fragrances in my perfume videos. Sometimes I just dedicate an entire video based on them, but other times I like to sprinkle them into the mix. So today's budget-friendly option is actually the one that took me the longest to love or to really, really like. I would say this is not a love, but I did come around to this fragrance. I think it's very, very well made. It is a spectacular fragrance for the price, and this is Ajayeb Dubai Portrait. Now, I got this in January. I want to say December or January, long ago, right when it was first coming onto the scene or the market, and I was like, I just cannot get on board with this perfume. I got a lot of this very heavy, very synthetic, Middle Eastern musk and wood, particularly wood, oud, that I just could not get over, and I just couldn't get along with this perfume. So again, I sprayed it multiple times, let it oxygenate, let it marinate. I came back month after month after month. It wasn't until August, it looks like 8 months was the magic number. August was when I thought, okay, I can actually do this perfume. I think this perfume is great. And a lot of the things I didn't like about the fragrance had basically either completely subsided or were significantly toned down after letting it sit for months and months and months. So if you don't know, this is a fragrance that's really heavy on mango or other orange fruits and citruses. So this is mango, orange, I want to say apricot. So those are really the stars of the show. But what's also the star of the show is kind of a spicy wood in the dry down. When I first was trying it, the woods were really dominating, and I really wanted more of that mango. This, I think everybody knows, or if you don't know, it's supposed to be an impression or a dupe of Stefan über Luca Mango Kiss Sol de Jedi. And I do think they are very similar, particularly now. They're much similar, 6, 7, 8 months into the oxygenation of this perfume. But that fragrance, even though nice, was ridiculously priced. So $300 for a 50 ml bottle. So, do the math. 100 ml bottle for $600. No. This one, if you can let it marinate, let it oxygenate, is really a terrific alternative for that perfume. And let me tell you, the longevity of this is absolutely nuclear. Inside joke. I sprayed this on a shirt, walked out of my room, went off to go to work, came back later came back a day later or 8 to 10 hours later, walked to my closet. I could smell it. I could even smell it the next day. So holy cow, this has tremendous performance. The next one is a fragrance that, it's not that I didn't like it at all. I didn't dislike it. I really liked it a lot. But I just wasn't sure if I really needed a full bottle when it first came out. And it is Atelier des Eaux. It is Pink Me Up. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at these bottles. These bottles are absolutely beautiful. I love the little gold flakes swimming around. And I always liked this fragrance. I just felt that I didn't love it, and I certainly didn't love it at the price point. I need to really love a fragrance at that price point. Even though it's alike. So I still really, really like this perfume. However, I like it a lot more now that I got it. It's on the gray market. I think I got, a really good deal. I've got it for $165. I've seen it for even less. So it's a lovely perfume at a much better price point. So this one is very happy. It kind of smells like the bottle looks. It is Blackberry Champagne. So it is basically a very sparkly, effervescent blackberry champagne with rose. I absolutely get rose and iris. I can smell those very, very well. They're, you know, kind of, they're not the star player, but they're definitely supporting roles. So if you like all of those notes, this is a very joyful perfume. I found it to be very, very good in the hot weather. I wore this about 5 times. And because of the blackberry note, because of the iris, which tends to go a little bit powdery in the dry down, and kind of a darker, richer, I would say the rose in here is like a magenta rose. It will be good in the early fall. I will not be pulling for this when it's snowy here. I just won't. This is more of a transitional perfume in addition to the warmer weather, but I learned to love this one. Okay, so the next one was another one that was not a hate or dislike on the first go around. I actually really, really enjoyed this perfume and thought it was very, very good. I was just struggling with the price point, and I wasn't sure at that price point I wanted to make, you know, splurge and buy it on 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2 testers in or 2 decants in. I really found that I thought it was a spectacular perfume, and I liked it even more when I got it 20% off. So it's Dolce Melodia, and this one does not go on sale that often. I bought this from Scent Split, another one I bought from Scent Split, and I buy a lot from them. So if you are on their mailing list, particularly if you are a repeat customer, you will get really good discounts in the mail. I think I bought this with an 18% discount. So I was much happier with that. And when the perfumes are a lot more expensive, 18, 20% makes a big difference. So I'm glad I picked it up. So it is a citrusy perfume with vanilla, very orange, you know, kind of smells like the bottle looks. Very orange forward, has some pear in here. So orange, pear, vanilla. It has a depth to it though, for sure. I want to say this also has blackcurrant. This might have a little bit blackcurrant. I'm not sure. I'd have to probably look that up. But it has it's unlike other citrusy vanilla fragrances because it absolutely, I would say this is very unisex. It has a depth to it, has a spiciness to it. And that is from the saffron, which I really can pick up. I pick up on that saffron right from the get-go. It's not super overwhelming, but it's definitely present in the background. And it gives this perfume kind of a spicy, leathery feel. I'm pretty sure a leather accord is not part of the note profile, and it's probably the saffron that's giving me this depth. So it really takes a, you know, a typical citrusy vanilla that's more playful in nature and really turns it into something more, you know, mysterious, dark, sexy, and very unisex. The next one is one that was a victim of circumstances. This is Chantilly by Griti, and I took this, and I want to say Tutu. Yeah, I think it was this and Tutu. I took 9 ml decants of these with me while I was taking one of my children to college. So I am not one of those parents that's excited when kids go off to school. I'm actually very, very sad. So I was really kind of devastated on that weekend, and it was super hot. So the weekend was just completely miserable. And I happened to take those 2 perfumes with me. So in the end, I just didn't have good memories associated with the perfumes, and I passed them on or decluttered them. Came around to Chantilly almost a year later, and I thought, gosh, why did I not give this a second chance? Because there's a lot to really enjoy about this perfume. It's very musky, but it has, you know, it has some fruits associated. So it's got strawberry and it has coconut. So it is a powdery, musky, strawberry, coconutty perfume with vanilla, but it's not a super gourmand perfume. It does not smell like anything like a baked good because the vanilla's more in the background and the musk is really toned up. So this has a lot of musk. It has a greedy musk, which I do get along with. Typically, I don't like a ton of musk with my fruits, but there's something about this musk that's very agreeable. The strawberry is very tart. It's like a tart strawberry. And I do enjoy the other citruses in the background. I've actually worn this to work. I feel very put together. It's a very pretty fragrance. Anybody can wear anything, but I do feel a little bit chic, you know, clean, sophisticated, kind of put together when I wear this perfume, it goes perfect with like a crisp white shirt, you know, something along those lines. It's not beast mode for sure. It wears more on the quiet side, and that's why it's a good work scent for me. So the next 3 perfumes are 3 Chanel perfumes. The first one I'm gonna go with is Chanel Chance EDT. Now this was a blind buy, I hate to admit it, it was a blind buy for me. And this is the Eau de Toilette. And when I got this one, I was like, whoa, this is very, very grapefruit forward. So if you love grapefruit, you will probably love this perfume. And this does not smell like the original Chance at all to me. This just smells like its own perfume instead of being a flanker. So this is very grapefruit forward. Lots of grapefruit. I want to say blood orange, other citruses. I do get something very tart, almost mouth puckering, very tart. I would say maybe a lime, maybe a little bit of lemon. So for the citrus lovers, but this also has a lot of florals. So there's a heavy jasmine, you know, probably ylang ylang. I get a lot of jasmine. And at first, it was just too much perfume for me. I thought it was too strong. But each time I wore this, each subsequent time I wore this, it became less strong. It became less harsh in the opening, and it just became something that I really wanted to wear, particularly when I was a little bit more, for a more professional environment. This one is not, this is too elevated for it to be like a white t-shirt around the town, jean shorts, casual perfume. It's a little bit more put together. I feel it fits better in a work environment for me as long as you do not go heavy on the trigger. If I go lightly, it's a great work scent. In other words, it has a very strong, intimate scent bubble. No one's gonna smell you unless they get, you know, within an arm's reach, which is fine by me. That's why I would not go super heavy on the trigger. And this one and another perfume that I'm about to talk about, these 2 perfumes, I have a coworker who's very, very picky. We'll call her Picky Terry. Her name is Terry. She doesn't like most of the perfumes I wear. She is not a gourmand lover. But the day I wore this, the first day I wore this, she went off to buy it at Von Maur, which is it's a nice department store in the St. Louis area. And I just feel very chic and put together when I wear this. The other, so the next Chanel perfume that took a little bit for me to love is Gabrielle Essence. I'm still not a fan of the original Gabrielle. And the reason is there's something about that fragrance that just clashes the citruses with the white florals in there. Maybe it's the jasmine. When they come together, there is something metallic about the original Gabrielle. And so I haven't quite got on board with that one, but I have got on board with Gabrielle Essence. It wasn't a love at first, but I have come to love this in a professional setting. Another one that makes me feel very put together, very chic, very elegant, very timeless, like I have my doo-doo together. I just feel like a put together lady when I wear this. I mean, anybody can wear anything, but I do feel like a professional woman who has her act together when I wear this. So it is white florals. I would say jasmine, just some white florals, some nice white florals. Citruses, not as strong as they are in Eau Vive, but citruses in the background to give it a little bit of freshness. Maybe there's some berries in here. I'm not sure. I could go with a little bit of tart berries in here for sure. And a little bit, splash of peach, like a little subtle splash of that vintagey, classy peach going on in the background here. So learned to love these 2 Chanel perfumes. Now the third Chanel perfume that I learned to love was one that I recently tried again. I've tried it a decade after first smelling it, or maybe it's been 20 years. It's the original Chanel Chance. I just remember when I first smelled it, and I think I smelled the Eau de Parfum. It just wasn't me. It didn't align with my taste. It wasn't in my wheelhouse, and I just kind of put that off in my mind that it just wasn't a scent for me. Okay, quick battery change. This is my 3rd video of the day. So I was talking about Chanel, the original Chanel Chance, the Eau de Parfum just not being a scent for me. I recently smelled it again in Sephora, and I think it was the Eau de Toilette, and I remember thinking, why did I not like this? This is a really great scent. So I am waiting to buy Chanel Chance Eau de Toilette when the next Sephora sale comes around. I mean, it's not a perfume that I need. I have a huge collection, but it is a fragrance that I do want, and it's still good 20 years after it was released, and it is now in my wheelhouse. So I would describe that scent as a mostly patchouli dominant fragrance, but the patchouli is not super strong. It's not, you know, dirty. It's not dirty. It's not dirty or earthy. It is if you like patchouli, it's kind of a designer patchouli that's well done. It's got a little bit of pineapple, some citruses, some white florals, probably a little bit of jasmine, and a lovely musk in the dry down. And I absolutely love it now, 20 years later. So Chanel Chance Eau de Toilette will be joining my collection within the next month or so. I think it's about time for the Sephora sale to be upon us. So the next one is actually a really funny story. The next one is by Eccentric Molecules, and it is Molecule 04. I had purchased a smaller bottle of this like 3 or 4 years ago, and it sat and gathered dust in my collection. And I know my mom, Picky Lori, she likes woody scents. She likes woody perfumes, and I thought, maybe my mother would like this perfume. So last time I went down to Houston, which was probably in April, I'll be going there again next week, I brought her the bottle with the hopes, you know, just to see if she would like it. And then I would download that on her. So she wore it that day, and I could not believe how good she smelled. I was like, Mom, you smell so good. That perfume smells so amazing on you. And I immediately fell back in love with that perfume and realized what I was missing not wearing it. So if you don't know what this perfume is, it's basically Javanol, which is an aroma chemical or a synthetic form of sandalwood, which is a good thing because for a while, sandalwood, particularly certain species, was really becoming over-harvested and very, very threatened, even probably more than threatened. But anyway, so they came up with Javanol. So this is a synthetic molecular version of Javanol. Now, I absolutely love this, and as soon as I came home from that trip, I bought the large bottle and absolutely love it. So this is very much a sandalwood perfume. They captured a little bit of that creaminess and a little bit of the crispness. So I like both types of sandalwood. This is somehow crisp and creamy and clean at the same time. And there's something fresh. And I just remember my mom smelling terrific. I thought she smelled fantastic. Woody, light woody, and fresh. So there's something fresh about this. I don't know how. I would guess, I don't know, maybe they added something in it, but it's a fresh, crisp, creamy sandalwood that I absolutely love. I smelled this on her all day long. Now, she said, I can't really smell myself. And that's the thing with these molecular fragrances. Sometimes you can go anosmic to them. This is one I absolutely do not go anosmic to. It is a great work scent. It's a great out and about. It's great casual. And you can wear it alone and layered. The next one is a fragrance that wasn't a strong love, or I didn't jump to get a bottle in the beginning, and it was my fault. I don't think I really gave this enough time and enough wears. And it's by Christian Dior, and it's Dioriviera. And this is my second decant. I've only got a few drops left. I do plan on buying the full bottle, but I'm not even sure what was going on the first round that I tried this. And I always sample more than once. I usually try to wear something 3 or 4 times. And it might have been that I was wearing this and testing other things at the same time. And maybe it got lost in the shuffle, because when I gave this my divided attention and wore this alone, I was like, what was wrong with me? I actually really do love this perfume. It's a fig rose musk. So it's a green, figgy, musky perfume with a lot of rose in the background, and the perfumer is Francis Kurkdjian, and it's a simple perfume. It's not going to take you on a ride, and it's a little bit linear, but I just think it's so beautifully executed. There is a creaminess in here, and whether that's from the fig or whether that's from sandalwood that is in here, maybe it's not listed, maybe I didn't know it was part of the note profile, but I definitely get a lovely creaminess in this perfume. And I don't always love fig, and the fig in here is on the green side, not the purple side, but it's not milky. And it's hard to describe. It's creamy without being milky. Has a little bit of greenness without being sharp. It's not soapy, and it has this lovely gauzy, somewhat dewy rose and gauzy musk in the dry down. I absolutely love it. This has really good lasting power. Not everything in that line has great performance, but on me, I get terrific performance on that one. I have one more. So the last perfume in this video is the most unlikely love for me. Everything says I should not like this perfume, and in fact, I did not like this. This wasn't a thing about it's too pricey. You know, I don't want to buy it, it's too expensive. I did not like this perfume the first and second time I tried it. And then I tried it, you know, almost a year later, a half a year later, and something happened. I was like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? This is a terrific perfume. It's going to be the most polarizing, and you're either going to love it or hate it. And I've had a lot of people send me feedback that they love it, and I've had a few people say, yeah, that is not for me. And I can see why. It is from Guerlain. It's from the Aqua Allegoria line, and this is Forte Bosca Vanilla, a very salty, woody vanilla with some solar notes. Now, there is driftwood in here, so it's not a typical woody vanilla, because the driftwood in here is something that I think gives a lot of saltiness. And there is this kind of beachy quality to it. It's a little bit there's like sunshine in this bottle. It's sparkly. It has a lot of lightness to it. I just cannot describe it. It's a very sunny perfume, but there's also eucalyptus in it here. And I think the vanilla, which is very sweet, it's a sweet Guerlain vanilla. If you can peel away the other notes and really focus your nose on the vanilla, it is a beautiful, sweet Guerlain vanilla. But that salty wood with the eucalyptus and maybe a little bit of those solar notes can go to marine for some people. It can just be too fishy, you know, too beachy, too seaweed. I do not get the greenness and the dampness that I associate with seaweed. I don't get that in here, fortunately, but I can see how people would think it's too oceanic, you know, with the salt, the eucalyptus, and maybe some of those solar notes with the vanilla. But something happened, something turned magical in my brain. I absolutely love this, and I know that it's not going to be for everybody, and this somehow works great in the hot weather. This was my scent of the week when I went down to Houston. It was hot, and it just smelled really good. My mom didn't like it. She commented on it. She said, that's too much vanilla. All she smelled was the vanilla. But this went from a hate to a love, and I find that really fun. So that was it for my Learn to Love on the second, third, fourth, fifth time around. Let me know in the comments below if you have any fragrances that fit in this category. And if you are like me, went from, nope, I'm not buying that, to, yeah, here's my bottle of that a year later. So thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who always gives me a like, a thumbs up, you know, subscribes to my channel. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And thanks for stopping by. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.